Now, still on transfers. Now, this is one, transfer stories that one of the huge talking points from the past week is regarding Victor Osimhen, Jorge Mendes, Cristiano Ronaldo, the whole swap thing, and and everything that broke last week. Now we all know how Ronaldo is desperate to leave Manchester United. He wants to play Champions League football, and how Jorge Mendes is doing everything in his power to get him a club in the Champions League, and it seems Napoli is that club that is pushing to at the moment. And there are talks that Manchester United could give them Ronaldo and an extra 100 million euros to get Victor Osimhen. Now it seems Spalletti is whatever happens, Spalletti hands
Indifferent.
are tied. Yeah, his hands are tied. If a club comes with 100 million euros for Osimhen, Laurentiis is going to sell, and every manager wants to work with Ronaldo, according to Spalletti. This
Really?
he was speaking. He said, he's not going to reject a player like Cristiano Ronaldo. After that game, Napoli played a 0-0 against Fiorentina this past weekend. So definitely, these questions are going to come in for manager as well. So he came out to say that all players, that if a clubs offer you 100 million euros, it's not easy to say no. Since I arrived here, all the players have been on the market for the right price. All the players have been on the market for the right price. So this is a manager who, if the money comes, there's nothing he can do. If the owner decides to sell, he sells. But I mean, what do you make of the option Osimhen to Manchester United? Do you think that would be? Let's look at it from the Osimhen angle now before we go into the Ronaldo angle and all that.
I think that right now Man United are building, and with the kind of players that they are bringing in, Anthony is coming in. There's Rashford who can run. There are players who can create the ball. Tyler Malaysia can also swing in the crosses. Anthony Martial is warm and cold sometimes. So you look from the right, from the left, there's going to be a lot of feed coming in. If they can harmonize themselves, if we don't have players letting their ego, ride over the needs of the club, it's going to be a good move. Playing in Europa for Osimhen this season, I still think that Man United will make the top 4 if they get Osimhen in. They have Casemiro now.
It's got the Champions League to play with Napoli.
Napoli will not make much progress. Look at the group that they are in already. They will not make much progress in the Champions League. And in the long run, it's not still going to be great for him, because the Georgian striker, the one they call Faradona right now, the Georgian striker that they signed in this early this season, is already proving that he is a better goal scorer. And the way the team plays, you could tell that there is more need. 3 goals in 2 games. There is more need for the midfielders to play ball to him than play to Osimhen. Osimhen get loose balls, and sometimes Osimhen needs to work too much for him. And he's just a guy. It reminds me of a certain Giorgio Calacci that played for Ajax so many years ago. It's also a Georgian player. In the long run, Osimhen might be dispensed for him. So if this is the opportunity for him to leave, I want to see that happen for so many reasons. One, John Ogu predicted a couple of years ago that Victor Osimhen would be £100 million or 100 million euro player, and everybody thought it was crazy. And then he moved for 80 million. Now 100 million plus Cristiano Ronaldo. You see, if that happens, let me tell you what that is. It's like this Zlatan Ibrahimovic to swap 45 million plus Zlatan Ibrahimovic for Samuel Eto'o. It's gonna be one of those moments where you say there is an African player that they had to put Cristiano Ronaldo plus £100 million, 100 million euro to get. That conversation will never end. It's a beautiful conversation. I'd rather have that conversation than say they needed what's it called, an African player in Victor Osimhen plus some money to buy Cristiano Ronaldo. So this conversation would always, every time you talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, you search for Cristiano Ronaldo. After this transfer, if it happens, Victor Osimhen's name will pop up immediately, and that's a good rub-off. That's a good rub-off for his brand, his personality, and everything. It's a win-win situation for Victor Osimhen. I know that back in the head of Victor Osimhen, he always wants to play in the Premier League. The Premier League is his place, and I thought that a club like Chelsea would have gone for him outright, 100 or put up 120 million euro and get him into their team, because that Chelsea team is crying for a striker like Victor Osimhen or some center forward that will receive the ball from people like Reece James, Raheem Sterling, and the rest of them. But if they don't get him and Manchester United get him, then it's good for the Devils people, the Red Devils and their people. It's a good move either ways for Victor Osimhen. Anyhow you want to look at it, you can't tell me that Napoli is bigger than Manchester United. You can't also tell me that the Italian league is bigger than the Premier League. Yeah, the Italian league used to be the league of the 90s, but even at that, right now currently Manchester United, what Manchester United can pay Victor Osimhen earns 100,000 euros right now. I mean, we're looking at between 150 to 250 if he makes that move, if his management know how to negotiate his deal properly. So it's not working well for Victor Osimhen. This is what I want to see. I love this move. This is what everybody's looking forward to. You want to see Nigerian players playing for some of these big clubs that have potential to always be in the Champions League. Yes, Man United might be going through their downtime right now, but it does look like they're about to turn a corner. And if you're going to join the team at the time when they're about to turn a corner with a new coach, and the coach is happy to have you, happy to let Cristiano Ronaldo go, I'll go for it. I mean, he's going to go there. Victor Osimhen is a hard-working player. It's not like he's one lazy player who will not come in. And this is not his Zaha. This is Victor Osimhen who's proven himself everywhere he's gone. I don't think Manchester United will be too tough a challenge to do. Only that Osimhen should take off the coat of his theatrics and complaints, because referees and the press will target him if he does that in the Premier League. If he take it off and come to the Premier League and perform the way we know that he can perform, it's a very, very good move. We're like one of the biggest African player playing in the Premier League.
Hello, my name is Sumaira. I am from Pakistan and you are watching Better TV Radio. Please subscribe. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Abdullah Wali. I'm from Pakistan, the number one country in the world in cricket. You're watching Better Sports TV Radio. Please subscribe.
But the big question is, do you think United will still want to spend that huge amount of money with the amount of money they've spent in this window? Anthony is going to be confirmed pretty soon for 100 million euros, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But if they could get Cristiano Ronaldo off that wage bill, I think it frees up something for a player like Osimhen to come in and all that. So it's left to see if they're going to spend more than what they spent.
The only reason why I think they can spend that money is the fact that Eric Ten Hag will do everything to get rid of Cristiano Ronaldo right now, as well as Harry Maguire. And if getting rid of Cristiano Ronaldo is also getting Victor Osimhen, and you need to spend that money, if that's what fix the problem of the big elephant in the room, they should spend it. I don't know if they will spend it. I don't work for them, but they should spend it. It's good business in the long run. Victor Osimhen is 23, 24.
Yeah.
This is his real age. If Victor Osimhen is not one of those players that you see Victor Osimhen's elder sister. Does that person look like somebody who's up to 27? Victor Osimhen is the last born of the house. Okay, so this is one small boy who divine providence and his hard work and street smartness have taken him to where he is. I think that if you look at it from that angle, Manchester United is getting a player that still have over 10 years of active football in front of him. So many things can happen. He can be sold in a few years' time to another big club. They can still make money out of him at the age of 28, 29 or 30. But right now, Manchester United needs a Victor Osimhen. It's a need. It's not a want. Anthony is not a striker. He's a creator. He's a winger that would operate from the right-hand side. So you can't say you want to depend on Rashford only as your center forward, okay? And then Rashford cannot do what Harry Kane does for Son. He can drop deep, do the what Wayne Rooney did for Cristiano Ronaldo. Drop deep, help to fetch the ball and supply. Do beautiful exchange with Osimhen. It's something that is good, is workable for Manchester United, and also settles the dressing room problem completely, because nobody's going to convince me. I've said it from the beginning. I'm still going to stick on that. Cristiano Ronaldo, not a bad player, but not something that Manchester United needed. It was the reason why Manchester United ended up out of the top four. A team that ended second, all of a sudden ended up in 7th position in the league. Cristiano Ronaldo was playing for himself, and he made the team weaker instead of stronger. So this is the time to take him out of the room and then bring in somebody who sees this as an opportunity for him to grow his career, and he's willing to work hard, willing to run, willing to chase the ball, willing to press from the front and make sure that the team continuously do what they do. We saw them against Liverpool. We've not seen that Manchester United in a long while. And because they were pressing from the front, it was easy at the back. Not like Liverpool were really horrible on the day, but that first half press gave them the advantage that they needed, and they went on to win, and that's the resurgence of the team. But when we saw them again this weekend, we know that the job is not complete. They still need a few more players. Thank God Anthony is coming now, and then if they can get Victor Osimhen, I think it's a good business.
All right, as we approach deadline day, there's no much time for that deal to go through. So if anything wants to happen, it should happen pretty soon. And for Osimhen, if that move is going to happen, if there's one player he needs to speak to, it has to be Igalo. He's played at Manchester United. He's close to Igalo and all that. So if he needs advice on Manchester United? Osimhen, just hook up with Igalo. He's going to tell you about the club, and we all want to see you play in the Premier League, and hopefully that happens. If not now, maybe sometime.
He comes
in
in
the
and he's
future.
going straight into my FPA team.
It's going to cost a huge amount of money.
Whatever it costs, I'll sell players.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.